we're in spring right now, first week of April, and I've been wanting to separate some pups on my dwarf Cavendish and some of my other smaller plants. These, in the fall, I planted them in the dirt, in the compost. That way they didn't stay in pots, and then I covered them with chips so they wouldn't freeze. They did brown, but they came back. And now I want to separate them because I got a parent plant with pups and I just want a parent plant. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my 4-prong so I can pull out all the mulch all the way down to the compost. Okay, so I got my 4-prong. I piled up a lot of chips before that freeze, so let me take it all out. Okay, so now I can take a closer look. Okay, so that's 3 pups. Okay, so since there's just 3 young pups there, I'm gonna leave these in a little longer until these pups get up higher. Alright, so I'm gonna leave that until those other pups get taller because I don't want to disturb them. So let's go over here. Okay, so same thing over here. I'm going to pull all these chips out when I winterize, and let's see what's in there. Okay, so I think I'm going to change the title of the video to UnWinterizing my banana pups, because these were pups when I put them in, and some of them have pups. I don't want to disturb them. This one here, there's 2 equal ones. So let me just go ahead and unwinterize all of them. Nice overcast, misty, wet day, and they could use being unwinterized. So let's go look at another. Okay, so there's a bunch of pups here. So let me go ahead and pull out the winterizing chips. And I'm going real gentle because there's pups down here. Now when I put this down, I'm not going in towards the plant. I'm holding these away from the plant because I don't want to gouge the plant. Okay, now gently, I'm going to go ahead and use this and see what we got here. Here's a little piece of a sucker coming up, but that's okay. It'll grow another piece coming up, but I don't see it. Okay, this is another Grand Nam. I'll just go ahead and put this right there. Okay, so I got a pup here, I got a pup there, pup here, pup there, and a pup here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that one that broke off. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave these here for a little bit. Okay, so like I said, I changed my game plan. I was going to separate some pups, but so far I think it's best just to unwinterize them, let them go ahead and acclimate when all the chips are away. So let's go over there and see what else I got. Okay, so same thing over here. This is the parent plant and these are all the pups. So let's see what we got. Okay, so now I'm going to get down in closer and see what we got. Okay, this is a Manzano. Put that right there. Okay, so that one's labeled a Manzano. I got the parent, and I got 1, 2 pups. So I'm going to leave that there, and let's go do the next one. So as you can see, these are all different ones in here, and these are going to be a pup producer, so I have different varieties. Okay, so those 4x4s were holding down the cover I had over it. So let's go ahead and see what's under there. I'm going about as gentle as I can. Okay, so I'm gently going to pull out everything in between with this. This is one of my favorite tools. Okay, this is a Manzano as well. Okay, so right over here I have a little pup shooting out. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6. So I'm going to push all this back. Okay, so what I just did was I pulled all the chips that I put on these pups just before the frost, the hard freeze. It protected the corm down below. So now I just moved all the chips away to let them have some air, some sun, some good weather. Let them grow a little bit, and then I'm going to separate all of them. I'm just going to leave one parent plant there to grow and have more pups. Now these I also planted like a month before the frost because I didn't want to leave them out in pots during the frost. So that's why these are all young, and that's why I wanted to get in here and see what I could do. Okay, so now I know what I could do. Let's go check out some more. Okay, so right over here, this whole row over here is my ice cream banana plants. It's over by the lake, so I'm really going to look for snakes under there before I put my hand down there. But you see, they got the chips on them, and they got a lot of brown that died. Everything's all wet because of the rain. I would like to cut all that off when it's dry, but let's see how it does it when it's wet. Plus, I'm going to remove some chips. So see, they just kind of pull right off right now. What I would like to do is all these branches like this that are bad is cut them off. And really it's too wet to do that. And if you go to pull them, they strip down, and you don't want to do that. You want to cut them. So I'm going to wait for a dry day before I cut, because then it cuts like cardboard really easy. This way over here, it's just chomping, not cutting real good, so I'm just going to remove the chips. Okay, that's all I could do with that. Now I'm going to get in there with this and just, yeah, these are all dollar weeds. I'm going to use this so I can get in between the plants and take that mulch out. Just like that. This tool gets right behind and you can twist it out. Okay, that's why I love this tool. Look at this. You could get all the way around. You see that? Okay, so this all looks nice right here. This is the parent plant, and these are some nice pups. I'm going to remove all of them except one. Not today, but that's what my plans are. Okay, so right over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Remove the chips. Here's a nice pup under there. Okay, you can see this pup right here. Okay, I removed all the big stuff. Now I'm going to get in between. Okay, man. Whew. On this one, I got some really big corms. I got the parent plant, and look at the size of these pups over here. Besides the small ones, I got some bigger ones. So when I separate those, the corms are going to be really big. And since these are ice cream bananas, I could go ahead and cut that corm into like 8 or 10 slices, and that'll be 8 to 10 banana plants off of that one, if I want to. Okay, so same thing right here. I'm going to remove all these chips, and then I'll get in there. Okay, so I got all the big stuff. Let me see if I give you a close-up and so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just taking this and I'm going behind and I'm pulling out some of that mulch right there like that, like through and behind the plant. Same thing over here, I'm pulling it out that way. I'm pulling it out from behind this one there. And in between like that, you see it? I'm going between the plant and just getting what I could. Just enough like that. Okay, so right over here, I'm gonna get this out like that and like this from there, just like that. See all that in there? I get it from this side, like that. And you can see this goes down and around. Okay, so let me remove some of this big stuff right here. There's some little pups in there. I'm just getting the big stuff. Okay, there's some deer plot food over there that the wind blew in when I was planting. I really don't want it there, but I'll leave it. The deer do not like banana plants, so they're deer resistant. Okay, so I'm done with this. We got one more ice cream banana plant to unwinterize, so let's go. Okay, so I got some other pups around here. Let me go ahead and remove all this. Okay. All right, so I got the big stuff. Let me get some of this in between stuff over here like this. Okay, so basically I'm done with these. I pulled out all the winterizing chips. Now there's some airflow. We just had a lot of rain the past couple of days, even last night. Big thunderstorm, a lot of rain. So all the brown stuff is wet. I'm gonna let that dry out and then I'll cut it like cardboard. But I just wanted to tackle this at the moment. Everything else in the yard, I don't want to pull my tractor around. I'll go ahead and leave tracks everywhere I go. The garden is doing great. I don't have to water today. Not going to fertilize. We had plenty of rain. They're okay for another day, so I'm not going to water today. Maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll stick my finger in and find out. And everything else is looking good. So I look for things to do on a day I can't do that kind of stuff. So I decided to do my banana plants. And after that, all my Mexican sunflowers are growing back. They died out in the wintertime. They were brown stalks. Now they're basically coming in like this, really nice and green. You can see them going all the way down. So I'll have to do them next. But next to the house, they're already about 20 foot tall, and they just really didn't even get hit hard like this because they're right next to the house and heat radiates off the house, and they didn't get as much hard freeze or frost as everything out here in the open. So let me go down to my other banana plants down there and down there and see what I can do. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, these are my hugelkultur banana plants. If you're following me, you've seen me do the beds on those. They all have brown on them. They're all got pups, and they need to be cleaned out a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean some of this up a little bit. Just spread those chips out. Okay, so let me go around. I think I could just use the... Okay, so with this tool, so I can see right there's a pup, so I'll just pull it away from the pup. There's a pup right there. Here's another pup. Right here, protect it. This right here is a pup. Okay, so that looks good. Everything's getting airflow, so let's get this one. Okay, here's a nice little pup right there. So I just get everything around like that. Okay, all this got nice airflow. I'm not going to tackle these until they all dry. Okay, so I'm going to get in here and pull this out away like that. Okay, here's a nice little pup right there. Real young. Okay, same thing in here. Just gonna pull this away. Okay, so I have a pup here, and there's another little pup hiding right over here. Let's get another one. Okay. Great, there's a big ant mound on this one, and that's why I wear boots. They're all over my boots over here. They would have been eating up. They would have been eating up my feet by now if I didn't have the boots on. Those ants are going nuts over here. So if you want to know why I wear these boots all the time, it's for snakes, it's for red ants, and it's for water and mud. Okay, 2 more left. And all my banana plants over here will be unwinterized. Okay, nice little pup down there. One last one, right? Bunch of ants right over here. Okay, so on this one right here, on this side, you can see I got 2 pups, 1 pup, 2 pups, 3 pups. Those were real young in there. And check out this ant mound. A lot of ant eggs, if you can see that. Look at all those ants. They're all moving those eggs now. Okay, so hey everybody, I'm Sam, the Frugal Hoo Gardener. You just seen how I unwinterized my banana plants. Even though I got some more to do, I'm just gonna let things dry out back in there a little bit, because I cut down some of the parent plants that had some racks and some hands on it that were too young to survive the frost. So I'll leave them for a little bit longer. But this is it. Now there's a lot of pups on these. I left the pups on there and I let the foliage on there without pruning as the winter was approaching. And then 2 days before and 1 day before, I put all the chips on the base of the plant to protect the corm and to protect those pups. And as you can see, it all paid off. Now comes the part where I got to start separating the pups, but I have to do it smart. When there's a real small pup in there and I can't get to the larger pup, I'll let that larger pup get bigger so that smaller pup gets bigger, and then I could remove the large one without hurting the smaller one. So sometimes it looks overgrown, but there's a reason to let them get overgrown, because if you try to get down in there, why harm a nice sucker pup that's coming up if you don't have to? Okay, so it seems like on all my videos, when I say I see you later, I always discover something else that I want to throw at the end of my video. So always watch the videos to the end and you'll see things that I throw in. Okay, so remember, I have a really big farm over here. It's 100% permaculture, and I work at it all the time and keep adding on to it. Got a humongous garden, watermelon area, huge, humongous hugelkultur area. I got all my composted chips and horse manure that I deal with constantly, and then I spread that around when it's time. Some of it takes up to 2 years to mature, so I could go ahead and spread it around. And then I dug a huge pond over there so I could put my banana plants around it. A lot of things going on. Plus I got hydroponics inside, and I'm also gonna have koi. So there's a lot of things going on, but I always like add something in because I see it when I'm walking in. Well, right over here is a plantain. I planted the corm just the other day. I had somebody on our group send it to me. So I planted the corm, and right over here, this first part of the rhizome is getting bigger. It's got color to it. This second part right over here is growing. It was like down there, and now it's about 2.5 inches. Each day I come out, it's growing. Pretty soon this will be a leaf, and that will be my plantain plant. So hopefully it turns into a really nice, big, healthy plantain when I plant it. As soon as it gets leaves coming up, I'll plant it this summer coming up. And as soon as it starts shooting off pups, I'll separate them and plant them. And after a while, I'll have a good amount of plantains over here. I can't wait for them to mature, have hands, have racks, so I can go ahead and harvest them, start looking at recipes, cook them up, and stuff like that. So anyway, all right, let me go. We'll talk to you later.